I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore!
Hi, this is Michael Uslan. You're listening to Batman on Film.
I'm vengeance.
I have given a name to my pain.
The Batman.
Always waiting for some Batman to save you.
It's simple. We kill the Bat of Gotham. I'm Batman.
Welcome to the Social Hour, a Batman on Film podcast, batman-on-film.com. I am the founder of Batman on Film, Bill Ramey. This is episode number 153. That's right, Pete Verra. How are you?
I'm good. I've enjoyed my my 48-hour window, and I've enjoyed it thoroughly.
I gave everybody 48 hours notice, and that 48 hours is up.
You can enjoy the latest Superman news.
Yeah.
Until the op-ed drops.
Yeah. So we'll get to some of that shortly. What's been going on?
Nothing really. Just, hanging out, just doing some Batman activities.
We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that here in a second. Have you cooked up anything out on the grill?
No, we've actually had a
lately?
lot of rain the past couple of days, so I haven't been outside cooking at all.
Is the snow over for the year?
Should be. We might get a little light dusting. March is notoriously strange. It's a little bit of doesn't know what it wants to be. How's it go? In like a out like a line, in like a line, out like a lamb, something like that. Like I can't remember.
Yeah. Or the other way around. I don't know.
So it's one of those things.
Yeah.
But March is unpredictable around here. So probably best case scenario would be some rain. I know all this week we're supposed to get rain in New Jersey. So I know you're a big weather guy.
Yes.
So might have to get out the ark.
Okay. All right. So got any new Batman merchandise? I know you got some from your event we're going to talk about, so you can mention it when we talk about your B89 event. But anything else? Any McFarlane, any Pops, anything new you got or anything you got in your collection? Anything you added?
No, I am hunting for the BVS McFarlane Batman action figure because I would like to replace it with the Justice League figure in that 6-pack, and I would display it that way, even though it says Justice League on that little card. Yeah, on the packaging. I want to get the regular suit in there. I like that suit better. I think it'll look nicer in the display. That's what I'm hunting down right now, but I haven't bought anything yet because I can't find it.
I will not be doing that myself. I do have that set, but mine's not displayed. Mine's still in the box. I'm not taking them out of the damn box. So I have the box sitting there. Let's see. I did get a couple new things. I got the Catwoman, Dark Knight Rises Catwoman Bat Pod combo.
Now, were you collecting this wave when Rises was coming out? I'm just curious, like the original Mattel wave.
I got them. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you have a Bat Pod?
No.
For that wave, Okay.
Nope.
See,
nope.
That's another thing I skipped because I have the Bat Pod from 2012. I was like, I know they're an inch bigger and they're a little bit more detailed, but I was like, for my shelf.
Look, it's nice. I got it.
No, it looks great. It does. It looks fantastic.
The Catwoman, Anne Hathaway looks really. It's a good looking.
She's great
there.
She really is. I Zoe really stole my heart with the Batman and her portrayal of Catwoman, but Anne Hathaway's, once I saw that on screen, I as much as I love Batman Returns, I forgot all about zombie Catwoman.
Yes, she was great. That's something else. Maybe it's coming. I've got the
You've been asking about Pops lately.
the bell. Yeah, there's nothing. I mean, I've got enough pops. I don't know what else you could come up with. I got the Christian Bale Dark Knight, Hong Kong scene
Yeah.
without, I got that coming. It hasn't
Did you get the
arrived
one with the
yet.
cape too? That one's supposed to have like a wired cape.
Maybe.
There's a
Not
variant
sure.
of that
Okay.
one. So keep an eye out for that.
And I did order the Batman, the original Batman 1939 McFarlane.
Oh yeah, you're a big purple gloves Batman guy. Yeah, I forgot about that.
I'm a fan of that original Batman, the Batman with a hyphen. And I got the, even though Nightfall is overrated as hell, like Hush, I did get the Hush,
Yeah,
the
that beautiful
Nightfall.
blue Batman though.
I didn't get no blue Batman.
You got the wrong one. That's the problem.
I got the right
Batman's
one.
blue in that story, right? He's blue.
He's not. It's supposed
There's
to be
no
black.
shading there. He's blue. Yeah.
Why the
maybe when he
hell?
had purple gloves, but
Why would Batman?
For the same reason he wears his underwear
blue?
above his pants.
Why would he say, "Okay, I'm gonna be a bat to scare this superstitious and cowardly lot, and I'm gonna make my suit a
Light blue?
light blue."
This way he stands out and they see him and they know he's coming.
Well, he's not supposed. Oh, hell no. He works in the shadows. You know that. It's a bunch of horse shit right there. Blue Batman.
I wish you could see him right now. He's all riled up.
I got some.
His face is like Texas burnt orange.
It's not. Yeah, there you go. Well, it's gonna be a color. That's a good color to be. So yeah, I got those coming. I got a couple new. I got printed up a couple of cool things. I got to go pick up today. You remember those retro comic book looking covers, and they were like with Dark Knight, Batman Begins, and then the Batman. I printed up. There's one for Batman Begins.
You made posters?
I printed. Yeah, it's a little 12 by 18 poster for Batman. I'm gonna get the Begins. I'm gonna get one for the Batman, and then I found this really print I bought of the Dark Knight trilogy. So
is Rachel like on a trip to Buc-ee's? So you're hanging things up? Like what's going on over there?
She's working.
Okay,
she works.
She's not around, so you got free reign.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm doing my air quotes. Retired. This is my main job now. Is Batman on film. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All right. So, all right. Tell me about this Batman 89 in concert.
Wow. Let me tell you.
I'm jealous because, look, I think the dude who's in charge of these and they did the Batman lives in freaking the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And because we interviewed him, Lauer did for Batman on film.
Well, I think they're doing like a whole series or tour of them. Like, this is like one stop.
So they haven't come to Dallas or the
Maybe
Dallas
they're going
area.
to.
I hope.
I would do some Googling and check out, see if they're coming. But
like when they did the Batman in concert, they didn't come. And I was like, oh, man. Yeah. What?
No, I didn't get a chance to see the Batman. So I was glad I got to see this.
So what's that experience like? Because I'm jealous. Like I said.
Have you ever seen a movie with a live orchestra?
I have not.
It's interesting. It's an interesting experience overall. Like I've done it twice. The other movie I did it for, oddly enough, was Mary Poppins, and that was kind of cool, being that it's a musical to begin with. So it was an interesting time. But for this, it's like this was crazy. I mean, obviously the score speaks for itself. So to hear that performed live with the movie was breathtaking. It was, I've watched this movie so many times. Like it's quotable from beginning to end. I could basically rehearse. You put it on, I could rehearse the whole movie. There are lines. Now they must have mixed the movie a specific way so that the orchestra could dominate and play them, and you could hear them. Like there's no music coming from anywhere else other than the orchestra.
Yeah,
except for Prince.
They took the sound. I mean the music out. Yeah.
So there were lines of dialogue that I never heard of before. It was interesting. Like when Batman like floats up into the sky, those two cops in the beginning after Jesus, those two cops have lines of dialogue I never heard before. They're like, where is he? Oh, he's up there. He's up in the sky. I was like, wow. Like it was interesting. There were certain, and again, because of the way the movie was mixed, certain things you didn't hear, like a lot of punches didn't
Yeah.
connect, gun clicks, explosions, little things like that. Was it sometimes you didn't hear because I imagine of how the movie had to be mixed to incorporate the orchestra.
Yeah.
And then, as usual, Prince just found his way in there, and he Prince. They didn't do the Prince music; they just did the Alpha music. But it was great to
Yeah.
hear Prince as well.
Yeah. So is it really how is it like, I don't know. I mean, do you really feel the,
Yeah,
the
I mean,
music,
for me,
for
for
being live?
me, we had great seats. We bought our seats like a year ago, so we were probably like 10, 15 rows
Yeah.
from the orchestra. So that, like, they were right there. Like I could see the movie and the orchestra at the same time throughout the whole thing. Like it was never like really, because you're watching them do their work as well, which is interesting at certain points.
Yeah.
And I'm watching the conductor, and then whatever instrument at the time I'm focusing on. So that was a cool element, but like it's just all part of this like giant display. It's really great.
Is how did their performance hold up to the original, Elfman
It's
conducted?
hearing it live is power. I mean, live music is a beautiful thing. Like I love live
Yeah.
music. I love
Yeah.
going to concerts. That's what it's you're going to a concert, like you get the same vibe, that energy's there, and there was such a buzz in the building. Like this was an event, this whole the New Jersey Performing Arts Center it's a pretty big venue. every
Yeah.
every every university has their graduation there now, and every high school anymore. So basically the entire state graduates in this building. It can hold a significant amount of people. So like to get all these people together, some people were in cosplay dressed up. There were a couple of Batmans there, a couple Jokers, a couple ladies dressed as the Joker. That was cool. The energy in the lobby as we were all kind of getting ready. You saw T-shirts and capes and everything. It was phenomenal. And I'm like, I met a BOF for Bike K. He was there. He was actually in the row in front of me, oddly enough. So as I was
All
posting
right.
pictures, he was looking at them, and he's like in front of me. It's kind of funny how that worked out, but it was just like, I remember I was talking to him and I said, Batman wise, there's only two movies that this happens. It's 89 and Dark Knight. For comic book here, like movies overall, like I was like, only the real special ones get this. 35 years later, still able to draw this type of crowd, get everybody hyped up. And there's not that many that do that. And 89 that's why, it's one of the greats, because the impact it still has so many years later. I mean, it was great to see Bat fans of all ages at this. Guys brought their kids. You could tell parents there, like young kids, like we're saying, 10-year-olds to teenagers. Like it seemed to be a great experience, and everyone was having a blast. Like everyone was cheering. Uslan got some cheers. Uslan and Melniker, of course, got cheers. Keaton, Burton, Jack got cheers. It was so much fun. It was great.
Did they have like concessions and stuff?
Oh yeah. Oh, it was again going to college, food, alcohol, whatever you wanted. You could,
Yeah.
pregame beforehand.
Should tailgated for this.
Well, it's funny because I treated it like a Devils game. Instead of I took the train in, I got off at Penn Station, I walked a block. Instead of making the left to go to the arena, I made the right to go to the art center.
Okay.
It's essentially the same distance in the opposite direction. Yeah. So like it's my normal commute for Devils hockey games.
Yeah. Okay. And they had merchandise, right?
Yeah. I got a wonderful 18 by 24 commemorative poster with the gorgeous oval, the orchestra on the bottom, 35 anniversary. It's a really great piece. I've already framed it. I have to find a spot in my Keaton corner underneath my pictures of Keaton and Uslan. I gotta find a spot for him there. I bought a Batman in concert T-shirt, hat, a little winter hat, one of those beanie things, and I didn't go there thinking I was gonna buy anything, to be honest with you, but I saw it and I was like, this is kind of like a special, like commemorative thing. I'll waste some money on this, and I'm not upset that I did.
When the movie was about to start and and it was kind of got quiet. Did you stand up and go, Batman on film?
No, no, I didn't. I've only seen 89 in theaters twice. So once the lights kind of dim and that kind of ominous tone just pops up of the theme song, I just kind of get sucked in. Once that like tunnel track around the logo, it's
Okay.
the opening of that movie just always kind of captivates me.
Yeah, it's a cool opening. The music is great. I've seen that movie. I've seen it more than any other Batman movie. I mean, it's just because of the time, time wise. But I said it many times here. I wore out like 2 VHS cassettes back in the day. I watched it so much, and I ended up, having 3 of them. I don't know where the VHS is nowadays, but that last one that made it through. But I mean, I would come in from going out. I was in my 20s. I'd come in at frickin' 2:30 in the morning and with a bag of Jack in a Box or some other kind of garbage to eat, and then put in Batman, and I mean and watch it till I fell asleep, passed out. But yeah,
it sounds like me in 2005. I just went on like a Batman 89 tear,
so
and I would just watch it every day.
But I've seen it in the theater several times because that summer of 89, I went, gosh, probably 10 times.
Sounds about right.
And I saw it, a few years ago. They had all of them in there at certain
for Batman 80.
Yeah. And I went and saw it.
That was the first time for me. First time I saw it in a theater.
That's crazy for me to think that, because
I've seen them all in a theater now. Yeah, because of Batman 80. I was able to finally catch up. Because, I mean, I started obviously with Batman Forever. That was my first real Batmania. A little mini Batmania. And because of just age-wise for me. So I missed out on 89 and Return. So Batman 80, I was able to see the 2 of them in a theater. And that's been cool. I appreciated that.
All right. Well,
but
that
doesn't. I still got to say, like, seeing it in a theater is fun, but seeing it with the orchestra, that was really something. I can't get over that. Like, if you can do that, even if you got to travel a little bit, I honestly.
So there was enough light to where you could see the orchestra.
Yeah, they had like a nice little blue lighting. They all had their lamps on there for their music and everything. You could see them. It wasn't distracting. No, it was perfect. Like they got this down.
Did they play the whole closing, like the credits through the very end?
They play, from beginning to end, as soon as through that tunnel track right through the end credits. The only time they didn't play was Prince's music.
Prince, yeah.
That was it.
Okay.
Prince's music was fine. And and I'll tell you, Jack got a wonderful ovation several times throughout the movie. All the Joker lines delivered. Like it was good. It was fun to see this with a real big crowd about, because when I saw 89 the first time, I think they did like, it was one day a week. I think they did like 4 showings that day. I think I went with a couple buddies of mine. We saw it like at like noon or whatever, right? Like, so it wasn't like I saw 89 with a sold out crowd for the first time in my life. And that was something special, and then you incorporate the orchestra in it, and it was really kind of, you felt it. Like it's sometimes it's hard to explain, but it was so much fun. There's no way you can't enjoy that. They're even doing like something like Star Wars. I was like, you know what? Like John Williams scores are so good. I'll sit through a stupid Star Wars movie to listen to that.
It would. I think the 3 best probably Batman films to have this in concert would be, of course, Batman 89, The Dark Knight, and then the Batman, just because the music, The
Returns soundtrack is really good too. I gotta say, I think that would be cool too, because I think that's a great soundtrack. But any movie that has a fantastic soundtrack is definitely up for game for this.
All right. Well, let's.
I would see any Batman movie, honestly. Like, I'd see Batman and Robin with a live orchestra.
I mean, I like the Batman Forever Elliot Goldenthal soundtrack. I do like that score. I like that Batman.
The Batman and Robin score is good too. If you could track it down, it's hard. I remember I got it I tracked it down the internet and I found it at a record store in the UK, believe it or not. And a good BOF for Brian Damaso ended up buying it. And then and then I was like, well, I can't really buy this. I don't have a CD player. Like they're selling it as a 2-disc CD. Like it was weird. So I was like, I don't have a CD player. If I want, I guess I could, but like I want to download the music. So Brian was able to send me the file. So I appreciate that.
Okay. All right. Well, let's leave Gotham for briefly. Head on over to Metropolis. I guess. Well, hell.
I guess my reign of fun is over now. I got you in person.
Yeah. Start. Well, we can. What are some other? Central? It's just in Metropolis, Central City, Gotham City. What are some other damn
Star City,
okay,
Coast City?
Yeah, I'll throw them all in because we're going there with Superman.
Okay.
And this first because we're going to have the whole damn. Apparently, the whole every character.
And a stretch guy. You got a stretch guy.
Yeah. Oh, there's all of them. There'll be several. It'll be Plastic Man, Elongated Man, Last Alive. They're all going to be in Superman.
Okay.
So we have
He's
all
ready
the
to go.
cities.
He's fired up. If you didn't know,
we got all the DC cities. We got all the DC characters. But in all seriousness, James Gunn released. I mean, it was a logo from the suit. I'm assuming. So you get the logo,
shield, just the shield. We got an idea what the shield looks like.
Shield, and it's clearly on this suit. It's not just like a, like the Batman logo on the B89 poster. It's not.
Do you know what it reminded me of?
What
actually? It's actually super related. The logo reveal for James Gunn almost reminds me of the cover art for the video game Superman Returns. It's just the way that it's angled and you're looking at the shield, and I believe that's going through like a little bit of rock, whereas this looks like it's coming through a little bit of snow. So I was like, okay, I've seen this Superman image before. This is very Superman-y, I guess, if you're trying to get me nostalgic wise.
So he released that. So we know what the film's Superman logo will look like. We know what the S will look like on Superman suit. I really liked the logo. I like the Kingdom Come. Kingdom Come is one of my. I like shockingly
not overrated.
Justice League. No, it's classic. That's a classic.
And Batman suit.
I am not a big Justice League team up guy, but I like Kingdom Come. I am proponent that should be given the Watchmen treatment on HBO and do a prestige series with Kingdom Come. And I've always liked that Superman logo. Of course, they go with the yellow or the gold instead of the black part. And I do like the yellow trim.
Yeah, not bad.
But I figured when I wrote my story about it, which I was very nice when and I said
very Switzerland of you.
Yes, I figured we would get something different than what the same variant. It hasn't altered that much. It's really that almost had been the traditional S for like since George Reed. Well, hell, since Kirk Allen. Any in live action, little tweaks here and there, but basically, and this one is not the classic S.
No,
yeah, but I think we would do something different, and they did. I didn't know. I mean, hell, I didn't know if they would go with like that original, that S with the look like, it wasn't the. You know what I'm talking about? It's all yellow triangle. Shield. It's got the little. It's kind of a triangle. It's got the little at the top, the little curved part,
knuckles on the top. Okay.
Yeah, and then just the S. I said, what if they do? Maybe they do that. Maybe. I mean, I was trying to think, and then so this is I thought it was great. So and the colors seem to be little brighter.
Yeah.
You go back look at that Man of Steel suit. And that's a dark suit.
Yeah, it's a little more navy, it's a little more muted, right?
Yeah.
I liked all the S's we've gotten. I mean, even the ones we've gotten on TV, CW. Dean Cain had a huge S on his chest.
But they have all been the same. That's
similar. I mean,
variant. Yeah,
Cavill's was different. It was a little bit more
a
like
little bit.
if you want to get comic booky, like Earth 2, like which was cool. Like I appreciate that. Like you're doing a different take on Superman. The logo is probably different. I feel like for Batman too, like the logo was always a big part of the Batman franchise, and I think that's kind of why Nolan didn't go with the round one. He went with more like of a flat type bat, right? For that time, he, and I remember he specifically didn't want the oval either, which breaks my heart. But I think that's a big part in like moving the character forward, regardless of what the character is. Just this little slight tweak of the logo, make it a little bit different. I don't know how you would do it for a character like the Flash or Aquaman. I guess but for Batman, Superman, it seems to have been done easily. It looked cool. Again, the yellow outline I liked. I'm looking forward to seeing what the rest of the suit is. I'm curious. Trunks, no trunks, S on the back. Is it all yellow? Is it black? Is it a long cape, short cape? There's lots of things I'm looking forward to. But so far, logo looks cool. I wonder if anyone really knows anything about it, who isn't really into comic books. I wonder if they're going to get it. Like, like, is that going to someone who doesn't know what's going on sees that on a poster? Do they have any idea what that is?
I was about to say, I think you see that with the colors. I think most people, if you showed just walked the street and said, "What is this?" I think most people would say Superman.
I feel like they'd be like, yeah, it looks like Superman, but it's not an S. Like, I feel like that logo is iconic for what it is, right? Like, you see it on the back of you see it on people have it tattooed on their arms. That S logo is very recognizable.
It's different from the trademarked, standard Superman logo, which, like I said, all of the live action,
but like it's the red over the yellow. It's got the shield.
Have had that variant since Kirk Allen, and George Reeves, and then Christopher Reeve, and then
So sometimes let's be honest, like.
Even
some logos are meant
to
your logo, the Dallas Cowboys logo. Like, what if they changed? Imagine if they changed that. The uproar.
Yeah,
there's certain logos, like honestly, like you don't mess with, like the Yankees logo, probably the Lakers logo at this point. To be honest, like some images are just that iconic where you don't change it, and Superman and Batman can be that way. Like they're like traditional trademark logos are the standard logo. The yellow oval. I can't talk. That oval, that shield, like they're very people know what that is. It's like so ingrained, especially in American pop culture.
I'm
learning the oval right now.
I like the Batman in the Batman movie. The one that was actually a blade or whatever.
Yeah,
on his chest clearly was homage to the 39 bat. That didn't have the ears, just had the wings. So. I really liked it. I want to see the entire suit. And I'm like you. I'm like, so they put trunks on it. I'm a non-trunk guy.
I like the trunk. To me, I've gone back and forth on this, but I'm at the point right now where, especially for Batman, the trunk breaks up the suit a little bit. If you're going to do that type of suit, like what Snyder did, but he didn't do the trunks, like that kind of like fabric-y almost look on it. Like, I think the trunks break it up to the point where he just doesn't look like he's wearing like like, I don't know, a leotard. He doesn't look like a speed skater. I feel like the trunks add a little bit something. I'm kind of for trunks right now.
I mean, it was based on circus
those wrestlers,
strongmen
right?
back in the day. Yeah. Okay. So I every time I see with the trunks, I always think, it's very dated. It dates it, I think, in my, but anyway, so I did like it. And I like the fact that he decided to call it Superman and not freaking Superman Legacy. I never liked Superman Legacy.
It sounded weird. It almost sounded like a special features on a DVD.
Yeah. Yeah. Legacy of what? I mean, I didn't, I didn't know what the hell the legacy was about. I do like Superman, and then there's technically the 78 Chris Reeve film is Superman the movie, technically, officially, unofficially official. I mean, where you want to look at it. I was around for it. And a lot of the promo stuff was Superman the movie. So and it's always been referred to as that for the most part. And if you talk about
I grew up with it.
when you say Superman, I mean that movie that
At this
comes to
point,
mind.
that it's kind of gotten the 89 treatment, and I just call it 78.
Yeah,
Like it's
yeah.
it's kind of
Well, you
defaulted
did.
to that at this
Yeah,
point.
they
In my
had the
life.
comic book, Superman 78 comic book series,
Yeah.
which has been really good. I and also, okay, even if we call that movie Superman with Chris, still to me, my number one comic book movie of all time to this day, still. I still think it's been enough time between that Superman and this movie that it's okay. I mean, we have two movies called Batman. In fact,
To be honest, you shouldn't be worried about it because I mean,
yeah,
they recently rebooted Halloween. They called it Halloween. One of the latest entries in Scream was just called Scream. It's like it's a thing Hollywood's doing.
I mean
They're just renaming these things to what they are.
the time difference between the 66 movie and 89 Batman is well, is shorter. It's 33 years, but from 78 to 2025 is quite a greater time period between two Superman movies with basically the same title.
I mean, to be brutally honest, the title's irrelevant. It just is. The movie's more important than the title. I could care less about the title.
I like that it's called Superman.
It probably would get some nickname down the line anyway. Like, does anyone ever say Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice? No, it's BVS.
No, BVS. So
yeah.
Other than that, we'll see. They're filming, I guess, mainly in Atlanta, right?
I do not know. I actually do not know.
Yeah, I think it's mainly in Atlanta. I think they're going to do something in Cleveland as well.
Okay.
But, we'll see. I think James Gunn had said, I guess he's planning on not doing very much location shooting because he's like he mentioned on Threads or wherever, they was not going to put out a picture of the suit until
if he's doing it on lots, then maybe he'll get away with not getting some set leaks, which is great.
Yeah,
I'd appreciate that.
Yeah,
as much as I love location stuff, maybe for Superman it's a little harder to do, being with all the special abilities, as well as the special abilities of some of the other characters involved in this movie. Maybe there's more green screen.
Oh, that's right. Yes. For just a moment, I was getting hyped up, just talking about
Green Lanterns fly. They need to fly
all
too.
of a sudden, I remembered we've got the entire DC universe is going to show up in this film.
Yeah. I don't know anything about the engineer. I don't know if she needs to fly, but I think she's a robot, so I think she involves some.
Well, hell, maybe they'll do the All-Star Superman, since they're they've gotten this Grant Morrison. They like the Grant Morrison stuff, and he gives Lois some medicine, some Kryptonian medicine or whatever the hell he did, so she can fly and be a super Lois.
Maybe you'll get your Batman of.
I love Rachel Brosnahan. Yeah, I can't wait for the Brave and the Bold when, we got Ambush Bug and the Atom. We'll have the Question.
Yeah.
Edrigan, the Demon.
Etrigan the Demon.
Yeah, we'll have him in there. Maybe John Constantine. We'll have all that. Yeah. So looking forward to that stuff when it comes around.
Maybe they'll have the Constantine from the TV show this way connects to that.
Nothing says a Batman movie like having Starman, the original Starman, show up. Yeah, I mean what's more Batman than Starman guest starring in it.
At least they cast Perry White.
Yeah, they did cast Perry White. They got Perry White casting.
That kind of eased my mind for a little bit, for about a half hour.
Flying Lois, Green Lantern, Hawk Girl.
Oh, that's right, Hawk Girl's in this. I forgot Hawk Girl.
She flies.
Yeah, so you need green screens.
Does Metamorpho fly?
No, he's a stretch guy. He could be a gas guy too.
He's not. He doesn't count.
He's more like an element.
Stretch guy. He's an element.
He can
man.
stretch. Yeah.
Well, he can stretch, but he's like, you got to be, that's got to be your whole bit.
That's
Be a
how you're.
stretch guy.
Okay, so he's not really a stretch guy.
Yeah. You got to be like Plastic Man and Elongated Man and Elastic Lad to be considered a stretch guy. And even, go to Marvel, Mr. Fantastic. Who else is in this? Mr. Terrific?
Yes, he is. He's the smart guy.
Okay. Does he fly?
I don't know. He doesn't have powers to fly. Maybe technology to fly, but not powers.
They can hook him up in like one of those jet packs.
Yeah, he could probably like have. Yeah, that's probably more possible than anything else. He's he's techie and smart.
Yeah, that would be awesome. They all fly. Everybody in that thing flies, including Lois, because after he gives her that.
Well, she should, yeah. That's
that medicine, that medicine, whatever it is, Superman medicine,
Robitussin.
Yeah,
Tussin.
whatever, 220, 221, whatever it takes to make you be able to fly. That's all you need. So, yeah, we're gonna get Superman. I like the title. I like the logo.
Don't like the movie.
And then I haven't seen it, but I have all sorts of issues with it.
Yeah.
And you can read about it on Batman on Films. I just dropped an article about, it's actually titled Why This Superman Fan Isn't Excited for Superman, referring to this new movie. Because I've seen every Superman movie in the theater opening night, even a couple of them before opening night. Superman Returns and Man of Steel.
Yeah, I remember Superman Returns.
Yeah. And watched the George Reeves series when I was a kid. I've seen the Kirk Allen serials. I even watched those.
I don't think I've watched those. I think my earliest Superman is George.
I even watched those goofy Superboy.
That
series.
I never saw either. Actually, I never watched that.
Well, that's probably a good thing.
Okay,
probably a good thing.
Better or worse than Superman 3?
Hey y'all, it's Bill Ramey, founder of Batman on Film. Let's take a quick pause in this podcast for these words from our sponsor. Man, that's tough. Maybe
I know people say Superman 4 is the worst movie, but I think Superman 3 is.
They're not as bad as Superman 4.
I could get by on.
I mean, they're probably maybe a little better because Superman 3 was not good.
No.
No. I saw it opening night. So I just saw Superman 4 opening night. I was like, what the hell is this? On both cases.
Okay, here, since you're the elder statesman here, what gave you, like, when you saw these opening scenes, what put you in like a worse for like, okay, this is going to be bad? Was it Superman 3 or Batman and Robin? After that opening scene, what were you like? All right, this is we're in for it here.
I probably felt it quicker with Batman and Robin.
Okay, I freeze on Batman, and that's it.
I felt it that whole opening segment. Yeah, but ironically, I mean, I have no ill will for Batman and Robin anymore. Yeah, after I've got the Dark Knight trilogy and
you
got
Nolan
the Batman, it's just like, okay.
Nolan gave us 3 great movies and he made us appreciate a really bad one. We got 4 movies from Nolan and one he had nothing to do with.
I wonder if he regrets, if he could go back and do it all over again, if he would put a stretch guy or two in the Dark Knight trilogy and maybe, some other DC characters.
Well, I mean, Nolan's a huge fan of Huntress. I'm surprised he never put her in there.
Well, I'm talking, that's Batman characters.
Oh, you want non-Batman characters?
We got to have non-Batman DC characters. That's the way to go nowadays.
Well, I mean, if that's the case, then what about like can you imagine a Nolan, Mr. Freeze, Captain Cold team up villain film, and then you could introduce the Flash that way? Right?
Oh, yeah. Okay, I see it.
You could have spun it off that way.
I was hoping somebody from space.
Space, okay. So
space or something supernatural. You get the demon in there, or maybe
Well, you mentioned Constantine, so you throw Etrigan.
Constantine.
Throw
Well, the Dead Man. Dead Man.
What's his name?
Spectre. Get those in there.
Yeah, you could do.
Yeah. I gotta have, but
Swamp Thing. Don't forget Swamp Thing. He's mythical, and then you could tie it into Poison Ivy because of the green.
Yeah, there you go. That's a ticket. Yeah, there you go.
You know,
and that certainly would. I'm trying to think. I got to get. I got to have me supernatural, and I got to have me. If they're having a Green Lantern in there, and that's a must too. Apparently, you got to have a Green Lantern in all these films.
Okay.
You got Guy Gardner and Superman now. And so if Batman, you had to have been Kilowog because he's clearly an alien.
We double down on the alien. Okay.
Yeah.
Alien.
Then I want
to see Wonder Woman, you can introduce Hal Jordan.
Yeah, that's where you go with that.
I think, if you're going to introduce like if you want to do the government is obviously afraid of Superman because they can't control him. So that's why you would introduce Captain Atom because he's a government sanctioned superhero created by the government to take down Superman.
Yeah.
And then you could introduce Major Force, who was part of the military, there's things like that.
Start.
And then you could tie it into the Green Lantern and Kyle Rayner, and then he kills his girlfriend and she's in the refrigerator.
I'm hoping that James Gunn is listening because these ideas are gold. I'm gold, I tell you. They're gold.
I would love to see Kyle Rayner in a movie one day. I will say that. But I'd like it to be a Green Lantern movie.
All right. So for the record, I like the Superman logo. I like the title.
Mm-hmm.
As I wrote in my article that I dropped today, I hope that when I go see Superman in July of 2025 of next year, that I come out and go, you know what? I really like that movie. That's what I hope.
I hope you do
too.
I hope I do.
I don't know if that will be the case. I'm really not liking all these non-Superman characters showing up. I was stoked for it because like I said, this casting is great. They cast Rachel Brosnahan. I've always said I got a crush on her. Don't tell announcer Rachel. She's excellent. I mean, I think she's going to be a great Lois. Just if you've watched Marvelous Miss Maisel, fantastic. Like Corn Sweat. I mean, let's go. Lex is bald, and Perry White looks like he'd be Perry White.
Yeah,
and the Jimmy Olsen guy. I mean, they pulled him right out of the comic book. That was like,
they did a good job with casting the Superman. I'm just I'm kind of with you. I'm just kind of concerned. Where's Hal Jordan fit in all this? Where's Mr. Terrific fit in all this? So we'll see. It's not what I would have done. It's not how I would have done it. But James Gunn he's a wacky, zany guy. So we'll see what he's got in store for us. He likes ensemble stuff. So kind of saw this coming.
My fear, and this is a discussion for another day, but I'll just throw it out there, is that it could be good. It could be received well, critically, and people don't turn out for it. Because
I think it's got to. I don't think could's the right. It has to. It just has to.
It has to.
It has to.
It has to be good. It has to be accepted by the general audience. It has to do well at the box office. It has to do well critically. If that does not happen, they're in trouble. And that's one of the fallacies of this shared universe thing is you putting so many eggs in this one basket. There's so much counting on it.
Let's say this one tanks, honestly, just theoretically, would they just say, all right, we got to get Brave and the Bold, we got to get our new Batman out, or would they scrap it? Would they give Batman the chance to save everything again? Or
I'm on record saying that I don't know if we'll see the Brave and the Bold at least in its original and the original intent of what it was going to be when they were spitballing and writing their DC Universe Bible and whatnot. Maybe it ends up being something different than what they were wanting it to be originally. I mean, Gunn's already had a walk back a lot of his announcements. Which another thing, stop making announcements, man. Don't make these big announcements.
That's what Warner Bros. Like to do. They always do that.
When you got something ready to go, announce it. Okay. Only two things that should be announced right now is frickin' Superman and the what is the damn monster one?
Creature Commandos.
Creature Commandos, which I'm interested in that because Frankenstein's in it. But so anyway, quit kind of get me off on tangents here. I'm trying to get back to Batman, sir.
Hey, look. Well, we should be, right? Next thing out is Joker, right? That's Batman related. Next movie.
Yeah.
And then sometime after that, maybe even sometimes before it, right? We might get Penguin, depending on when that series drops.
I think we get Penguin. I think we get Penguin before Joker.
I think they're going to be very close and whenever they get released.
Because Joker is, early first weekend of October.
So I'm looking forward to that. So that'll be exciting.
Because Penguin's Penguin's in the can, man.
I'm just waiting for them to release it. That's what I'm waiting for. I want to see this.
Here, it's March. We're going to start getting we'll start getting some promo stuff for it soon. I'll bet you anything. I can't.
I was wondering, somebody brought up I forget who brought up the topic. It's probably Patrick Johnson because he posts like 7 things in the Facebook group a day. Are we going to get McFarlane action figures for the Penguin? And I know McFarlane's a weird guy, and he doesn't like making just guys in suits. And I don't know how much. Other than that, the Penguin's going to be, but I'd be down if Oswald gets like I don't know some nice white suit with some like if it's a different, he makes variants all the time. Why can't he make me a variant Oswald? I don't know, but that's something.
If you ask me right now, will there be the Penguin series? Will there be McFarlane's? I will say no.
No,
that would be my guess.
Wondering because and then I'm wondering if he'll at least make a Joker for this movie.
He didn't do the last one.
Yeah, so just curious to see if he'll do that because Joker sells.
Joker doesn't, the Todd Phillips, Joaquin Phoenix Joker series just doesn't reek of merchandise going along with it.
No, it doesn't, but he's got an online following. Like there's guys who just collect his action figures. If he made it, people would buy it.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't.
I would get
everything to blow off the shelves, but his target audience would buy it.
I would get a Joker and I'd get a Harley.
Yeah. He could probably. That's another thing too. Maybe he does a 2-pack or something. He'll find an angle to make his money. But I would be surprised if we didn't get something for Joker from McFarlane, whether it is either Joker or Harley or Joker and Harley. I would just be shocked.
Okay.
Because I think Harley figures sell too. People love Harley as well. Take. It's probably unlike anything you have in your toy collection. She's probably really grungy and
that's what I would we'll see. But we got that coming this year. We got Penguin, which is kind of like it's almost like a pseudo sequel to the Batman. It's enough to keep us keep us, give us something here. It's been 2 years. 2 years.
It's just
today,
the next part of the saga. That's it.
2 years.
The next part of the saga.
This. So is next part of the Batman saga. How much do you want to see Pattinson show up in the Penguin? And as
I want
Bruce Wayne.
I could go with just like I want a taste and a tease of Batman, and if Pattinson's walking around being Bruce Wayne, then so be it. It all depends. Like what because we're still new to this world, really. What exactly is Bruce Wayne doing, hanging out in sleazy places like the Iceberg Lounge? We know
exactly
over
why.
there.
You know exactly why he'd be there.
I know. I just
dude's undercover.
I just don't. Yeah, that's true. But Bruce, I'm much more keen to like say a Matches Malone than a Bruce Wayne. Thing. Something like that. I'd be interested. I don't know if I necessarily need to see it, but if I get it, it'd be nice. But yeah, like I don't know. I'd rather see Gordon. I'd rather see Jeffrey Wright pop up. To be honest,
it wouldn't shock me if he does a cameo. I would bet a month's pay in Monopoly money, of course, as always here on Batman on Film, that Batman, Pattinson's Batman shows up at the end of the Penguin.
Yeah, that would get me excited.
Because I'm just doing my fan fiction. I think at the end of the Penguin he's the boss.
Mm.
And so Batman shows up to give him a what for. You know, you think you're the boss now? You just wait.
I hope that
wait till the Batman part 2.
I hope
you
that
son of a bitch.
The last shot of the Penguin, if it ends on Batman, I hope it's as glorious as the final shot of Gotham. That was really
nothing can beat that. The only thing could have beat that is, you get that last shot of Batman in Gotham, and then Kilowog, Green Lantern, came and just flew down and stood right next to him and crossed his arms.
Yeah.
That would have.
That's why he shines the light so Batman can see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. 100%.
What is someone's in a mood?
The Batman Part 2. Been some concern from folks, including myself, that the release date could get pushed. But from even on the last social hour, I think I even said it wouldn't shock me. And then I did some investigating, how I do. Ask around, and unlikely. I think they've got a pretty solid gauge on when they're going to start production. It looks like
wonderful.
Good. I think summerish, late summerish, we'll get to work. So we should start seeing some casting news here. It's already March, so I think by June, July, we're going to be hearing,
that's going to be
cast
fun.
as,
that's going to be a lot of fun.
Whomever.
To get the sequel to a solo Batman movie, especially now, it's just, it's like I said the last show I did with Justin. I'm holding on to the Batman tight. It's something special.
It is.
Who knows what the future holds for Batman? And I'm enjoying this. I'm loving this so far. I'm holding on to this really tight, and I'm gonna enjoy the hell out of it. I'm really
thank you for that segue. The Batman is something special. I did want to finish up today with talking about Paul Dano, and he did an interview with The Independent. Did you happen to read it?
I read the blurb on Batman.
Okay.
Film. I read the BOF article.
And he was asked, how did the Batman survive comic book superhero cinema, superhero movie fatigue? And his answer basically was because the Batman was a real movie.
Cinema.
And
that's what they call it on Twitter.
It was. I mean, it wasn't. And then it goes on, and he says there are enough comic book movies where there are enough comic book movies where you just know what you're going to get. Reading the script for the Batman, you knew it was a real film. Every sentence. That was just Matt Reeves. I agree 100% with that.
I think that's because, again, the keywords are Matt Reeves. This is a real director. This is a man who knows what he's doing. He's a master of his craft. Some superhero movies are a little bit more generic than others. Depending on how much of a critic you are, I guess it bothers some more than others. And that's just it. Like, hey, some movies are Oscar worthy, and then some movies are popcorn, right? Like, it's. I feel like that's the genre in general. The special ones always stand out. And the Batman, in a time where things seem to kind of be almost forgettable, really stood out for, how different it was.
Yeah. He really loved making the Batman. He said, I was able to really enjoy the Batman. It wasn't too much for me. I like the fan fervor around it. I became a total Batman dork.
Yeah, I mean, so much so that he wrote his own comic book.
Exactly. He wrote the Penguin the Penguin Year One. He wrote the Riddler Year One, which is great. That's it is one of the best. It was one of the best Batman comic books of last year.
Yeah, well, that's not hard to do these days.
I know, but I mean,
I've said this about the Batman saga.
Stuff. Yeah,
there's a lot of different outlets to explore this and enjoy this. You have the movie, you have the prequel novel, you have your Riddler Year One.
Yeah,
I tell you to throw in the Imposter every time because I think Tomlin did a great job on that. And we're gonna get the Penguin. Like, there's a lot of avenues when it comes to the Batman saga, and I like, I like that it's contained within itself and it's focused solely on Batman, and that's it. And we're exploring Batman's world. We're expanding Batman's mythology. I appreciate the tunnel vision that Matt Reeves has.
I agree with his assessment of the Batman. There's no doubt that we haven't seen the last of Dano's Riddler in this saga.
No.
I 100%. I think that core cast, Batman, of course, Batman and Alfred, of course. Okay, and
it's
Gordon.
very 66 of it. You got to look at a lot of 66. He loves that stuff, man.
Catwoman, Joker, Riddler,
yep,
Penguin.
The Mount Rushmore of Bat villains.
They will be in throughout the saga.
Yeah, I agree.
I would like to. Hell, someone brought up, I think it was in a mailbag or something, about you see any other comic book stuff. I mean, and I think it was like maybe Batman meeting Gordon the first, some story about how, would you want to see that, or are you just kind of, are you good with we know that they're partners basically, like they were in the Batman, and you don't need to
if
see
they want to do
more,
some
like,
sort
background.
of prequel comic or some sort of story like that, like that's fine. If they want to, I'd be down. Remember what was that Batman animation thing between Begins and Dark Knight?
Yeah.
Something like that's cool.
Gotham
if they want to
Knight.
Gotham Knight. If you want to fill in the gap that way for fans, that's great. I think do it. Give it a shot. See what happens. If it hits, it hits. Like I like that. Like, I appreciate it because that was new at the time when they did Gotham Knight. They didn't do a lot of stuff like that, and I know Nolan didn't, like, it doesn't really have his blessing or whatnot. But if you want to pretend,
absolutely, yes, it does. Emma Thomas produced it. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's a canon.
Well, then I take that back. But it's just, a lot. I don't think a lot of people know about it outside of, like, Batman fans.
Yeah.
So, like, but for us, I think it's really something cool to kind of, because you kind of like, oh, Deadshot has his place in the Nolanverse. So it's I guess it's not, realism up the ass like everyone claims it is.
Yeah.
But I'm down for that. Like, again, I liked Riddler Year One. I like that prequel novel. I like what I'm getting. So, like, I'm ready for more. I don't know if that's kind of contradictory to how I'm always telling everyone the genre is oversaturated with, ridiculous characters like, I don't know, Blue Beetle and Captain Marvel. Like, certain characters don't need movies or shows and stuff, in my opinion. They maybe just need cameos. But I feel like Batman, Spider-Man, those heavy hitters, they're the guys now that you need to carry.
You got to build that. You got to build that sweet shared universe, man.
Yeah, it's. I get it, and, like, I understand why
build
fans want it, but, like, sometimes I'm like, is this the best interest of the character? And I don't know if shared universes necessarily are, because I've said it before. It must suck to be an Iron Man fan right now. Point blank.
All right. So yeah. So for the moment, Batman wise, instead of comics, of course, but we've got Penguin, we've got Joker, we have the Batman coming next year. We'll have the Batman Part 2, I should say. We'll have the Batman Part 2 starting to wind up in production here not too long from now. And it's nice
to be talking about Batman shows and stuff. I'm tired of talking about Superman. Talk about Batman.
Well, Superman, and then the whole freaking DC universe, because they're all in there. They're all in there. They don't get me going again. I had moved away from it. I had settled down.
All I said was I'm excited to talk about Batman again. You went back to Superman.
You're going to get me talking about Kassabs here and all kind of other stuff that I don't need to be getting into. So with that,
Chicago ribs, baby.
Plug something.
You can follow me on social media, on Twitter at Pete Illustrated. You can follow my news-based podcast, Do Whatever Coldman, Straight to Gotham, at straight_O_G on Instagram and Twitter. I have a Spider-Man podcast, the Italian Spider-Man Coalition, at Spidey Coalition on Twitter. I appear on Ryan Lauer's Batman Book Club monthly. I'm all over BatmanOnFilm.com, podcast, YouTube.com itself. Don't forget those dashes. So, they're important. And, I'm all over there. You want to talk some Batman? I'm down to talk some Batman. Baseball season's coming. That's going to dominate. That's it. Baseball season's here. Bill finally saw first Texas championship since what? The Mavericks?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go.
First Dallas Fort Worth championship.
Yeah, because the Spurs had a really good
Spurs.
Yeah.
That team, the garbage can bangers.
Oh, please. Yeah, well, there's a reason why I didn't count those.
Your second favorite Major League Baseball team.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Actually, Yankees open the season in Houston. So
in Houston.
In Houston,
okay.
4:00. I think it's a Thursday. So no rain out.
When are they playing the Rangers down here?
One series at a time. First game. Gotta get past Houston. 3 games against Houston, then we're on to the
next. You got to come when they play down here. Come down. Maybe it's a weekend. You got to come down and go to the ballpark.
Yeah. Tell Jake to get in a hotel. I'm taking over that room, and I'm coming down.
All right.
Get the gumbo ready.
All right. It may be a little too hot for gumbo then, but whatever. All right. So for me, Batman on Film, batman-on-film.com. You can find everything there, everything I've done, everything everybody else does. Go to Batman on Film. Check out all our podcasts, comic book reviews, op-eds, videos, the whole 9 yards. All right. With that, Announcer Rachel will finish up. We'll catch you next time.
You have been listening to the BOF Social Hour, Jet's official podcast on Batman on Film. Follow BOF on Threads at The Batman on Film. Follow BOF on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Batman on Film. To help keep BOF up and running, go to patreon.com/Batman on Film, or you can buy BOF a beer at buymeacoffee.com/TheRealBatmanOnFilm. For Jet and everyone at BOF, I'm Announcer Rachel. Authoritative, definitive, the original, Batman on Film, founded in 1998.